Hey, what's going on guys? Welcome back to the channel where we're doing more God of War. Did actually figure this out. So you get this like that, and then you leave the wind on this one, and then it'll switch between those both.
I wonder what this place looked like in better times.
Conan's was a beautiful land in its heyday, before the Dwarf King's obsession poisoned his mind.
How could he let that happen?
The dwarf blindly trusted in the legend and pursued it without thought to the consequences. This is the result.
Trust is a gamble, like you said. And the Dwarf King lost.
Well, yeah, I still don't know where the Raven is, but there is still a bit more for me to explore. Move it a bit. Oh. Not seeing it, and I don't really want to. Pure essence of the realms. Dust of realms. I'm just doing one more look. Doing another quick look over that. I keep on seeing that and the reflection is on messing me up. Are they on any of the branches on top of the trees? No. That would have, it would have actually been pretty smart if they actually did do that though. Like on top of like one of these. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's around. It doesn't really matter because I have gotten the trophy for it. And I may see, oh no, because it's only for this location. I was going to say I may see it as I progress, but it's location bound. I will say there are some places where well, oh, that would have been a decent spot, put one.
You found the legendary materials? Incredible. Oh, this is so exciting. Meet me back at the temple and we'll get started right away.
Okay. I think putting one up there would have been a bit too obvious. They've done it once, which is good. Oh yeah, we'll use the boat.
Okay. What about the giant with 8 arms?
Starkath the Mighty, he was called. If the Giants ever had anything so organized as an army, Starkath would have been their general. An opinion, in retrospect, I should have kept to myself. But no, as Odin's advisor, I kept him advised. And having bent his will towards Starkath's doom, there was no dissuading him. But even Thor wasn't stupid enough to take on Starkath on his own. No. Instead, the Aesir set forth slanders upon Starkath's name, branding him throughout the realms as a monster to be feared. They said he abducted an elf queen who killed herself rather than be ravished by the giant. Lies, of course, but you're too young for her story. In the end, even the Vanir gods and the armies of Midgard were roused to the cause. They surrounded Starkath, showered him with arrows until he was brought to his knees. He surrendered, hoping by trial he could clear his name. Thor took advantage and ripped off one of Starkath's arms, which only made it easier to sever another and another until he was satisfied. Relieved of 6 arms and too much blood, Starkath perished upon the battlefield. I regret it to this day, you know. I told myself there was nothing I could do, but I wish I'd tried.
Okay.
You boys look right beaming. Well, the squirt does. Can't see squat behind that frizzled fuzz you call a beard.
We found the materials. But they're so weird. How do you build a piece of armor out of something so...
None ya.
None?
None ya fucking business. Trees. We got our ways.
Oh.
Like oil and water. So, fire of Ares. Okay.
To work it is.
No lost items.
One of these days you're gonna tell me who made those beauties. Wouldn't want to be on the receiving end of those.
Increases the rate at which rage is gained by constant. Moderate power cultivation chance to grant protection barrier, preventing damage from enemy attacks when using a runic attack. Oh, man.
Go scuff that out.
Increases the rage is gained. Increase all burn damage inflicted by pristine.
I'm sure that'll keep you out of trouble.
Increases all frost damage. Okay.
Be too careful now.
Close that. Can I upgrade them? So a pristine ore. As guardian steel. Oh my god.
That ought to keep them from hacking bits off you.
I'm just gonna upgrade the armor as far as I can. I'll do it all equally.
Very proudly, you some bitch. Where is Wicked? That ought to keep them from hacking bits off you. Where is Wicked? Right. Lots of luck.
I need to head over here.
This is it, right? The rock stool?
Aye, lad. The Council of Valkyries.
The Valkyries are of Valhalla, are they not?
Glad to see you're paying attention, brother. You are correct. Valhalla, the great hall of the Einherjar, is their home within Asgard. But while there, they are subject to the scrutiny of the All-Father himself. And relations between the Valkyries and Odin were tense during my tenure as his advisor.
Why?
Well, that's an even longer story, lad. For now, why don't we look around for some clues?
Whoa, you're back. Come here. Who is she?
Gunnar, Mistress of War. After any conflict, big or small, she would be first on the scene, sussing out the worthy spirits for a free trip to Valhalla. A gruesome task, but she took great pride in it.
Any conflict. Impossible.
It's true. She had help from her sisters, of course, but Gunnar was always first to arrive. Her judgment of the fallen was unparalleled, and an invaluable resource to Odin. She was one of his favorites. Ah, Gondul. Beautiful Gondul.
And?
Huh?
That's it? Beautiful Gondul? No story or anything?
Oh, sorry, lad. The sight of Gondul always took my breath away. Gondul had a silver tongue, a sharp wit, and struck a figure so stunning it literally drove men insane. Odin forbid her from setting foot in Midgard after a time, as insanity is not a welcome trait in Valhalla. This is none other than Geirdriful, the master of arms in Valhalla, responsible for arming and training Odin's Einherjar.
Cause what?
His army come Ragnarok. The entire reason Valhalla exists, you see. The Einherjar wait in the Great Hall endlessly, feasting, drinking, and fornicating themselves silly. Once Ragnarok begins, Odin calls them into service to fight on his behalf. Geirdriful had her hands full training that lot. This, my friends, is Kara. Now, Valkyries are volatile by nature, but Kara, the lass is wild storm personified.
A wild storm.
Aye, calm and collected. Then the air would shift and the fury of her storm would unleash. It was beautiful in a way, assuming you could find proper shelter. Her tears would cleanse the blood-soaked battlefields. This is Rota, a chooser of the slain.
I thought all the Valkyrie did that.
Not exactly, lad. Although that is what they're most famous for, and by far their greatest responsibility. You've seen what happens to the dead without the judgment of the Valkyries.
Hellwalkers.
That's right. Rota, Gunnar, Skuld. Without them to clean up the aftermath of battle, hell overflows with souls meant for Valhalla. A sorry state of affairs. Rota must be beside herself. We have Air, the healer.
A Valkyrie healer? Strange.
Air was strange, as a matter of fact. Very quiet, very calm. Where her sisters were violent rapids, Air was a gentle stream. She healed the wounds of both mortals and gods, and even a certain all-knowing sage who once drank too much and fell off a mountain. Not my proudest moment. Well, Hilda, mistress of battle. She and Odin got on quite well, actually. Her and the other Valkyries, not so much. She would spend most of her time here in Midgard observing discord between the living, and sewing some up herself from time to time. She lived for conflict. Some say she was conflict personified. I wonder what will become of her now that she's free. Olrun, once the daughter of a powerful chieftain. She fell defending him during a Reaver attack. Olrun was escorted to Valhalla, where she chose to devote her afterlife to the pursuit of knowledge above all else. quite unusual behavior amongst the constant drinking and feasting of her fellow Valhallian denizens.
How'd she end up a Valkyrie?
Odin. He saw a kindred spirit in Olrun's single-minded pursuit of knowledge. He appointed her as the Valkyrie's resident historian.
Okay, what I'm gonna do is... You okay, boy? Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna end it here. Hope you all have enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you're not subscribed, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye guys.